Hi guys, what's the Fox Gaming here? I've just got a real quick video for you today. This is actually a very slightly updated version of my TU 9.1 solo heroic build. So the purpose of this build is to be able to solo heroic missions with all 5 directives turned on. The differences are incredibly minimal here, but this does work quite well with the new directives. In fact, the only real difference is that I've switched out to in sync. For at least for the solo version anyway. So I'm not going to go into a great amount of detail here because the build video is already up from TU 9.1. That's only a few weeks old, so we'll link that in the description. But I run kinetic momentum and tech support as my talents of choice for the solo version of this build. I do still stick with a 3-piece Murakami because I can include the Emperor's Guard for the armor regeneration just for a bit of survivability, the Wyvern, and then the 2 Hanayu just for the extra skill damage and skill haste. I'm still running exactly the same skill, Striker Drone and Assault Turret, because they are absolutely fantastic. The only real difference here, as I say, is the in sync. But like I said, I want to quickly demonstrate how this build actually works a bit better with the new directives. So perfectly in sync at the moment. The Harmony, the named Resolute that gives you the perfect version of in sync, is being sold at the DZ vendors, but that is about to change most likely. I can't imagine they'll continue that on, so depending on when you watch this video, it does drop in the light zone and dark zone though, so if you see rifles, just farm it. The only real difference is that it's 15% up to 20% though, so you could quite easily just get away with running any other weapon. Doesn't really make a difference. Quite simply, when you fire a bullet into an enemy, you give yourself 20% skill damage. When your skill then damages the enemy, you give yourself 20% weapon damage, and when they're both on at the same time, they're doubled to 40%, or 30% for the non-named. Really easy to maintain because these 2 skills do constant damage. Ignore the fact that I've got Demolitionist on here. I'm just simply leveling up the specialisation on my alt character. I'd still recommend using Technician. It's just better because it gives you the extra skill damage. So I want to quickly demonstrate why this works better with the new directives. We have some of the same ones. We've got Fog of War, Cool Skills, and Special Ammo. These are all the same. Cool Skills usually isn't ideal for skill builds, but it works perfectly with this build because they have such a long time that they're up, that you put a cooldown on straight away for this first skill, but you know the duration on these is something like 250 seconds or more, so if one breaks, it doesn't interrupt the other one if it's already up. It only applies a cooldown if it's not up, so it's really easy to maintain. We do have the start with no armor kits, not a problem, just because of the way that enemies target, or how the enemy aggression, the NPC aggression was tuned back in TU9. They don't really go for you at all, and if they do, just set both your skills to target any sort of rusher that's flanking, your left or right. But for the most part, you don't need armor kits. The Emperor's Guards, knee pads kind of cover you for that because they give you 1% armor regeneration. That is 1% per second, by the way, so after 100 seconds, you've effectively got all of your armor back, so less than 2 minutes. But you don't really take that much damage anyway, so yeah, even so, if you play this, depending on the skill that you play, dictates how you get a signature weapon. Excuse me, the specialisation that you play. Each one generates specialisation ammo in a different way. But yeah, I'd still stick with Technician for this. Now this is the interesting one here, Pistolero. So start with no ammo. Hostiles killed with a sidearm are the only ammo source. Now if you use Technician, you will have perfect spike anyway, which is almost as good as this. But I'm going to quickly demonstrate why you can use your weapon within the first kill of the game, even though it dictates that you have no ammo. So what we'll do is we'll get our pistol out. Let's target this guy up here, shall we? So I've shot this guy with my pistol once, and now I'm going to let my skills kill him. In their own time, of course. He has dropped ammo. So the way that the game recognises this directive is it's the last weapon to do damage to kill them. So the game doesn't recognise that the skill has killed them as far as this directive is concerned. You can fire 1 pistol bullet, or as many as you want. You don't have to get the closing kill. I don't remember shooting that guy, but yeah, the point is it drops ammo all the time. Now usually for the start of this mission I'll pick up sort of 2 or 3 bricks just like this.
Priority is to release the prisoners to keep the true sons busy. You'll be looking for some kind of security terminal.
Okay, that guy actually didn't drop ammo. But yeah, for the most part, oh there you go, there's ammo there too. You get a single pistol shot on them, let your skills do the rest of the work, and they'll drop ammo. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to go through this new video. As I say, we'll link the description of the main build in the other video. I will actually, just whilst we're here, again, I'm conscious of how long this video will take, but I do have a group version of this as well, which is almost identical. The only real difference is, just restart this mission so I'm not in combat, I changed the chest talent and the backpack talent. The reason for that is kinetic momentum is okay. But I put on perfect glass cannon for the group version, and the reason for that is I'm even less likely to pull aggro because there's more than one person, and it does offer you more damage, 25%, as opposed to the 15%. I also went for perfect combined arms here. You know, I forget what the other one's called now. It's tech support, I think it's called, isn't it? Yeah, tech support relies on your skills getting the kill. In a group play, that's less likely to happen. This just gives you raw damage. So this build actually does a lot more damage, but it's a bit more risky if you're by yourself. Yes, you're popping your head out of cover a little bit more with this weapon, but for the most part, you're not targeted. But with group play, you're not going to be targeted at all, really. You can just sit in the back and throw your skills out. So I just went for raw damage at the cost of survivability. I still like the combination of the 2 Hana, 1 Wyvern, and 3 Murakami. But yeah, they're just a slight change there. If you do want to play this in a group and you just want to build that you can relax to and, you know, get your buddies in and stick on all 5 directives, heroic missions, then this is definitely the build for you. So that's the end of the video. Again, any likes and subscriptions are appreciated. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.